What's up, guys? I am in Chinatown right now, and I'm going to test out the all-new Sony a9III. Doing a couple of videos on this, but we're going to talk about low light performance, dynamic range, and I thought what better place than actually do a real-world test in Chinatown. It is the start of the Lunar New Year here in Singapore. Look at the crowd here. Absolutely crazy. And that's just a small part of it. Let's go take some photos, some video. Let's see how this performs. All right, the first lens I'm testing out is the 1635 f2.8 GM2 lens. This is a phenomenal lens, guys. I've been testing this over the past couple of weeks, and this lens is small, compact, bitingly sharp, a big improvement over the original, which is already a really good lens, but this makes it very easy for handheld. I can use dynamic active stabilization on this as well, so I can just handhold this. It's kind of like a gimbal in my hand. So enjoy the images, and then we've got the 51.2 GM, and I've also got the 70-200 f2.8 GM2 as well. Check out Chinatown. Now let's jump into Lightroom and let's take a look at some images from the a9III. Now the lenses I did use once again are the 51.2 GM lens, the 16-35 f2.8 GM2 lens, and the 70-200 f2.8 GM2 lens. Let's look at this image first. This is with the 51.2, and this is after a little bit of a edit by me. I'll show you what the before edit looks like. And as you see, all the noise reduction is turned off. Sharpening went up to 46 from 40, and this was the original image. A little underexposed, but I brought it back, bit of masking, as you can see here. If I zoom in on this, look how sharp this is. I mean, this is really tack sharp. You are gonna see some noise creeping in here, and it's not a deal breaker. Sometimes to have a little bit of noise gives an image a more organic look than something that is super clean. Again, everybody's gonna have their preference on it. I can run this through Topaz denoise, I can use Lightroom denoise, and I can clean this image completely with zero noise at all. Would it have the same effect? It depends. Everybody's gonna have their preference, but I'm still very happy with this. I'm not expecting this camera to have the best dynamic range and the best ISO performance. It's designed for speed first and foremost. So when people you see online comparing it to cameras of higher resolutions out there, it's not a fair comparison. Those cameras are designed for image quality first and foremost. The a9III is designed for speed, capture the moment, predominantly in JPEG, because professional photographers don't have time to edit raw images when they need to send it out to their editor ASAP, and that's what this camera excels at. Let me show you an image at ISO 8000, give you an idea of how this performs. Now, I just did a Lightroom denoise, so I'm gonna actually pull this off where there's no denoise whatsoever. As you see, everything is turned off on that. And now I missed focus slightly. My shutter speed was a little bit too high. I went over 2/50th of a second at ISO 8000 on the 70-200 f2.8 lens. Now, there's some grain here. We know that. But let's look at the dynamic range. If I push the shadows up to 100%, you're gonna see the image is breaking up. There's a lot of noise coming into play. But if I keep this right in this range of, you know, minus 19, 20 thereabouts, I'm still in a very good place overall. And I can also use denoise if I want to do that. And I'll show you what that looks like here. This is after Lightroom denoise. All that's cleaned up completely. To me, it looks a little bit too clean. I can, of course, adjust that, but to each their own. Now let's take a look at this image of a girl who is posing for her friend, and I'm going to show you the before and after of the edit. But this is the first part of the edit. And as you see this lady in the background with her bum right there, I didn't want that, so I did clean that up in Photoshop. But let's take a look at the specs on this. 4000 ISO, 1/100th of a second. I was using the 70-200 at 130 millimeter focal length. And let's zoom in on this. I mean, this is clean, guys. Look. At 4000 ISO, this is very usable. You see the detail in her face. No noise reduction was done on this whatsoever. Again, some sharpening added in, 46 from 40. Now, this was my final image here, and I used a little bit of generative fill to get rid of this lady and give me a little bit more of the background that I wanted. As a matter of fact, if you want to see what it looks like, if I run this through topaz denoise, because I actually prefer topaz denoise, there you have it. Look how clean that is. That's absolutely fantastic. You wouldn't even know this was shot at ISO 4000. So again, if you're worried about ISO performance, you can use software out there to really fix up your image and make it look even better. A lot of professional photographers already have these tools at their disposal. So if you don't have Topaz, I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. I pay it out of my own money. It's worth investing into it, my personal opinion, because it has saved a lot of my images from sharpening and denoise as well. All right, so that's pretty much it. Now let's go back to a few more samples of photos and video, and then to my final thoughts. All right, guys, I just finished walking around Chinatown. I am sweating. Oh man, it's hot and humid here year round. That's just how Singapore is. Anyway, first impressions of the camera. Autofocus is lightning quick. I would even say it's faster than the A7R5. I know they say it's the same AI engine inside of it, but I feel it's a little bit quicker, a little bit snappier. The camera does get a little bit warm to touch. I'm going back and forth from video to photography, and I do notice that it gets a bit warm. Nothing that's going to be a nuisance, but you do feel it. Outside of that though, ISO performance looks pretty good. Is it gonna be class leading? No, but this camera is about speed. It's about capturing the image. It's not about the dynamic range. It's not about ISO, having great low light performance, because it's like taking a Formula One car and taking it around the street saying it doesn't have good gas mileage. Of course it doesn't. It's designed for speed, and that's what this camera is for. So considering that, it does a really good job. The video footage looks beautiful as well. I love the colors coming out of this camera. I know they say it's supposed to be the same as the A7R5, but I feel it's tweaked slightly. It's a different Sony look that I'm used to seeing, and I actually really enjoy it overall. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, notification bell. More content on the way. Thanks again for the support. Happy Lunar New Year for all those celebrating, and I will chat to you soon. Bye.